This is It's Mental Podcast. I'm back, and today it's a little bit funny because this is the second podcast recording of the day. But the first one I forgot to record, so my guest came here. We chatted for 90 minutes, and she left. There's no podcast recorded. But this one, I made sure that the record button has been pressed. And today I have a guest, Krissi. She is a comedian from Bulgaria, and I will ask her to introduce herself.
Hi. My name is Christina, and I'm from Bulgaria. People also call me Krissi, or my comedian name is Ultra. And I'm living in Germany since I'm 15 or 14, something like this. I grow up here, and I do stand-up comedy since 2 years. Yeah, 2 years now. And what else?
Yeah, why do you think you want to come to this podcast? What do you want to talk about?
About that. I have a lot to like. I wanted I wanted to speak about some issues that I think are like important. And I mean, I don't even like to speak about that, but I think it's the correct way to do it because the things that happens to me is not supposed to happen to anyone else ever again. And that's why I want to share my experience and just be like, just let people know that if they feel like this or they handle like this, they just need to stop and maybe rethink to be parents or something like this, and just to know how bad is it. And I just wanted to break the silence because in our family we don't speak about that, and I think it's time someone to start speaking about that.
So, what issue do you mean? What has happened?
I was born in actually in pretty like wealthy family. I mean, not from the beginning. When I was born, we were poor and everything. But my parents are really good, educated. They went in university. They speak a lot of languages. They're really smart, actually. But they were like not prepared to be parents. I
Mhm.
mean, they didn't actually wanted to have children. I think at least it felt like this for me, because they always treated me like some alien that is kind of disturbing their
Mm.
life, that they are not able to do the stuff that they used to do before. And yet they behave like this to me, like making me feel really unwanted as a child. And you recommend me this book about immature parents,
Mhm.
and it's amazing book. I mean, I can feel so much in common, like on every page of the book. And it helps me also to realize a lot of stuff. And I want to speak about that. I want to speak like what is it for a child to be born in a family that don't actually want to have the child that much.
And why did they have you if they didn't want children?
I don't know. I think they wanted to have children. I think they wanted to have children, and when they made me, they were really happy about that. But then I came, and I was not so easy to handle as they thought. And I was making stuff that they didn't expect children to do or something. And I mean, at least my dad was showing his anger about that. And it was just not such a good feeling.
And how's their relationship?
Their relationship is always great, still great. I swear, when I was a child, they used to talk and talk and talk with each other, like discussing some stupid stuff that happened that day. Like, I spoke with this colleague and she told me this, and I told her this, and etc. And I mean, they was always having this great connection, but
Mhm.
they never listened to me.
Oh.
they was like, how was school? Did you get good grades? Oh, a bad child, go and punishment or something like this.
And how's their relationship with their own family?
Bad.
Uh-huh.
Bad. So I think it's a family stuff because I think everything started with my grandpa. He was killed by the socialist, and
From which side, grandpa?
of my dad.
Uh-huh.
And my grandpa, I think he was mistreated as a child because he was the child of a traitor, right? And they mistreated him badly. I don't know. No one speaks about that. You know, in our family, we don't speak. We are just very quiet about everything. But I knew that my grandpa was not behaving correctly to my dad because my dad, he used to hate them. I mean, his parents. You know, it's like a family curse. Because I still remember as a small child, how my dad screams at his parents, and he's like, you always preferred my sister over me, and you hated me and everything, and and he was treating them really bad. And I was a child, and I was really confused because I liked my grandparents. I mean, I didn't get it. Why you speaking with them like this? What the hell is going on? He never also explained it to me that they did something wrong to him, you know. And my mom, she's her family on the other side, they're like really cold, you know. I mean, she was having actually a great childhood and everything, but they didn't spoke so much. I mean, it was like she was learned by her dad, by my other grandpa, to not show her feelings because he was like a policeman. He was a lieutenant, and he was observing criminal crimes like murders and stuff like that. And that's why I think he was learned to hold his feelings for him. And my mom learned this. And then I got this crazy combination between mom and dad.
Do you have siblings?
No.
Okay. So you are the only child.
Yeah, they didn't want more children.
They were like, this is enough.
Yeah, this is enough.
and did it change over time?
Me?
The relationship with your parents?
Yeah, like I can notice now where they're going older. They're getting older. At least my mom started to change, you know. She started to be more empathic and think about her actions more and trying to be better. She's kind of evolving, you know, she's growing. But my dad, he's still the same. He's like not changing at all. And yeah.
And when did you realize that, your childhood wasn't normal?
Oh, I needed a lot. I needed a lot of time because I was like feeling that something is bad. I mean, because there was like treating me and my cousin really bad, but we didn't knew that. We didn't knew it because we thought this is normal. We thought this is how parents are you know, normally. And I needed to, because I was also trying to find help, you know. I mean, my parents used it to insult me on daily basis. They used it to beat me. They used it to be really mean to me, you know. And I thought this is how parents are. At some point, I tried to speak with other people and be like, this is how it works at home, you know. Is this normal? And back then in Bulgaria, this was like normal to hit your child or something like this. And they was like, yeah, this is totally normal. Just it's like by everyone else. But I was seeing that the other children not like this, you know. And at some point, I just stopped. I was like, okay, this is my reality. It is like it is. I can't do anything against it.
Did they really beat you?
Yeah.
Like often?
Often, like almost every day, you know. I have like PTSD, this post-traumatic stress syndrome, because my dad, he's really impulsive, you know, and he was losing his nerves a lot. Like you can sit there and do nothing wrong, but at some point he's just so angry that he finds something. He's extra looking for something to start screaming at you. And I think he was having his own problems, at work, and maybe with my mom, I don't know. But he was letting this anger always on us, like me and my cousin. And my cousin, so his mom got separated with the dad, and my dad was like the dad of my cousin. He was trying to cover the role of the dad for him too. And I needed to reach like 14 or something when the first time when I actually say something against that, because this was on daily basis. I was living in fucking fear the whole time. I was like, what is going to happen today? For example, I can give you example. My dad, he was working, he was making night shifts, and for the night shifts he wasn't there. He was in a different city, like 30 kilometers from Sofia. And I was calling my mom every day because I didn't knew when he has night shifts. And I was like, is that having a night shift? And my mom, she was so happy. She was explaining the whole family, look, Krissi, she loves her dad so much. She's always asking about him. And I was asking because I wanted to know if he's going to sleep someone else and I will have my peace. Or is he going to come back and I should be scared that he's coming back?
Did you ask for help somehow?
I tried, like I say, I tried to speak with other relatives. I tried to speak with in school with the teachers, but the time was like this. They was like, oh no, this is, it happens, it's normal. Yeah, just forget it.
And
be better.
How bad was the violence? Were you able to just lock yourself in a room?
No. I mean, I was not even thinking about that because, when he was really angry, you know that you can save yourself. I mean, this will come to you, this thunder will catch you. And at some point when I was 14 or 13, this case that I'm speaking about, they started again something against me, like I did something. I was not the perfect child as my mom wanted me. This is actually a quote of her. I was like, Mom, no one is perfect. And she said, no, you should be perfect. And they started to scream at me at some point and to beat me again. And then I don't know what happened, maybe because I was older. I was a teenager already, and I was like collecting all this rage in me. And at this point, I just broke out. Everything broke out. I started to scream at them. I never allowed such thing to start to scream at them, I was just afraid. But I started to scream, and I was like, look, you're beating me. Children are like insulting me because of that, because I have these spots on my skin, these black spots when they... bruises. And I was like, children are laughing at me at school because they think they was calling me a gypsy in school, because of this thing. And this is not okay, and you should stop doing this. I hate it. And I screamed like 5 minutes, and they never heard me scream. And they got so fucking scared by this. And then I packed my stuff and I left the flat. And I went to my grandma. And I spent there like 5 days or something. And then my parents, they came and they was like, yo, please come back home, etc. It's fine now. We're going to be better. And then they at least stopped beating me. By 14, they stopped to beat me. And beating, I mean only my dad. My mom was not beating me.
And beating, what do you mean beating? Like how?
Like hitting, like this, like pulling your ears.
Was it like beating till death, that kind of beating? Or it's just like slap you?
Like
it's
slapping, like, but he was not letting like face bruises. I mean, he was like holding me really tight and pulling me and like pushing me and hitting me.
Oh God.
And I thought this is normal, I thought this is not that bad because I know that other people got beaten worse, but I mean, it was an issue for me. And yeah.
And was there some people in your family can act like a protection? For example, you said you went to your grandparents' place.
Yeah, my grandpa,
From which
the
side?
of my mom,
Mm-hmm.
at least he was always saying, "Let the child alone. She's living in her own world,"
Mm-hmm.
Because I was very quiet,
Mm-hmm.
but I was quiet because I was afraid to say something. I mean, I was just afraid that if I say the wrong thing, my dad is going to get this rage. And that's why I was so quiet. I was like, okay, if I'm quiet, the chances that I will get punished for something are less.
Mm.
And my grandpa was trying to protect me, and he was saying, let the child alone, let her, she's living in her own world. But I mean, this was like the only person that was saying something. I mean, the other part of the family, like the sister of my dad, she was also trying to protect me, kind of, but she knew him, and he was dominating his own life, a whole life. And that's why she wasn't a big help too. I was like, I mean, I didn't felt so loved in the family, let's say. I mean, I felt better with my aunt and with my cousin because they were normal, but they was also not able to protect me from this.
Wow. And then, so after, then you moved to Germany.
This with Germany was actually pretty bad
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, because of the whole story. I mean, I was not having family at home. I mean, my family was not helping me to grow as emotionally or as a person or as a self-esteem or something like this. There was actually working against that, let's say like this. They were also interested that I'm not having too much self-confidence because they wanted to control me. I mean, they're both control freaks, and they really hated it when I was doing something different as they wanted it. And I like, I was having a lot of friends outside. I was having so many friends
Sorry
outside.
for interrupt. I think we are not talking about the same thing. I
No,
said you moved to Germany at some point.
yeah, that's why. That's why I'm going there. I was having a lot of friends, and this was my family. My friends were my family. It was really cool. I was having all these friends, and we were calling us sisters and brothers and everything. It was pretty cool. And then my mom, I mean, I don't know if it was on purpose, but then she decided that I need to go to my dad. My dad was already like for 2 years in Germany or something. Or I don't know, for a while he was already in Germany. And she was like, I don't like your friends because they have too big impact on you. That's why I'm sending you to Germany. And I was like, but mom, is it not better, because I was already in the 9th degree? I was like, is it not better to continue my school here? It's 3 classes more, and like 3, 4 classes. And after that, I can apply for university in Germany, and I will get the good grades in Bulgaria, and then it will be easier to apply in Germany because I will have this good grade, right? And no, she didn't wanted this. She just wanted to pull me out of this environment that I created for myself.
She almost hate to have fun.
Yeah.
And then coming to Germany,
Yeah,
how was it?
it was terrible because I didn't want it to come here. I didn't want it, but she forced me. Actually, she said this. She was like, if you don't go free, I mean, on your own will to Germany, I will call the cops because I'm your legal, like, what is the
Guardian?
word? Yeah, and they will drive you to the border with Serbia, and after that we will transfer you with something else. So I was having no other way. I needed to come to Germany, and when I came in Germany, I didn't have any friends, any environment, anything. I was in this small village in Saxony, and in the whole gymnasium there were 2 foreigner childs, me and one more, and they was watching us like some kind of very rare disease that it should be observed or something like this. I was having almost no friends, like only 1, 2 people, and we were not even that close. And it was really terrible at the beginning. I mean,
Were you live in a boarding school or were you living with your dad?
I was living with my dad.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, but it was better because he was not beating me anymore. He was just insulting me. Like, not that he didn't do it before, but he was like on daily basis. You are so stupid. You're so fat. Look at you. And then I told you that for a while I was vegetarian, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was actually my kind of protest because my dad was explaining me how ugly I am because I'm fat, and I stopped eating meat and I started to train a lot. And I was 42 kilos, you know. And when I was 42 kilos, I was really thin. And then my dad, he was like, oh, you're not so thick, not so fat. Actually, you can eat more. And I was like, oh, so now I'm not so fat. I needed to hunger myself to 30 to 42 kilos. So in order that you say this,
Wow. And you lived with him alone for how long?
I lived with him since I was 17. And then he did. I mean, my mom come also to Germany, but I wanted to go back to Bulgaria the whole time since I was 17, and this was a compromise. When I was 17, I told him, "Look, there are two options. I want to go to Berlin and live on my own, or I want to go back to Bulgaria." And my parents, they told me everything is better than Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can find a flat on your own in Berlin and everything and a school, you can go. So I organized everything and I came here to live here.
What made you think you want to move to Berlin?
It was, we were having this Klassenfahrt, when the class is going on a trip,
Mm-hmm.
a class trip. And we went to Ostsee, and there was this school bus that came after our bus, and in the whole bus it was full with foreigners. Like 90% of the children were foreigners and 10 were German. And I was like, oh my god, where are you coming from? Oh, we are from Berlin. And I was like, is there a lot of foreigners in Berlin? And it's full with foreigners. And I was like, oh, I want to go there. And this was actually my motivation. I didn't want it to feel so alone like a foreigner. I wanted to have more people like me in the near, and that's why I decided to go to Berlin.
And before you moved to Berlin, were you able to find friends?
Like in Saxony,
Mm-hmm.
I was like 2, 3 friends or something like this, like the outsiders in the school. We were friends, yeah.
And after you moved to Berlin, what did you do? Did you study?
No, I was doing my gymnasium degree, the Abitur. I went to school here in Friedrichshain, and it was like to be newborn. Because I felt so free that I'm out of this toxic environment at home, and I found so many new friends, and everything was great at the beginning, and I was making all these parties and going outside and having all these friends, and it was really cool. But after 1 year, yeah, I did. Some wrong decision. I fell in love with the wrong person and I got really depressed. And then I lost interest in going out and seeing my friends. But it was a great time. It was a great time at the beginning. Then I fucked up a little bit, but it was my fault. Yeah.
And now, over the years, have you seek help from like a therapy?
No, not actually, because I was first of all I was taught that this is not a problem and I'm not supposed to speak about that because in our family we don't have mental issues. Yeah, at least they say so. And I was always trying to fix myself. That's why I like to dig. Like, for example, if you do something bad, I will be not like, oh, you're a bad person because you did it. I will be like, why? why makes you motivate this to do it, and I'm always looking for the reason, you know. I'm always digging till find the reason. I'm an overthinker, and I was like trying to analyze myself. Like I was digging into myself to find what is the reason, why you're depressed, why you sad, what is happening, and this was working for a couple years. But when the corona started and everything, like a couple years ago, I totally lost control about it, and I was sometimes it was really bad. You know, I was like unlocking all these traumas that I went as a child, and I didn't knew what is happening because I thought this is over, you know, this is behind me, but I never worked this out, you know. And I was even looking for help, but in Germany you need to wait like 5 6 months to get an appointment by a
But
psychiatrist.
that's still better than never.
I know, but maybe I should just sign up for some list and wait.
Yeah.
But I also want to have like the best psychiatric because I'm also a little bit control freak, you know, and I'm always looking for the right person because I don't want to wait for 6 months and then get some psychiatric that is not even good enough. And yeah, maybe I should just sign for somewhere and wait, you know, because I really need this, you know. I reached some point in my life where I cannot heal myself.
Yeah, because I before the podcast start recording, we have some conversation about some stuff happened. What I can feel is that you know, like when one situation happened, you know why, like the way you react the way is because what has happened to you. Um, but I didn't think you fully understand that the fact that you understand this your reaction is because something happened to you in the past means that your reaction to the situation is not really fair to the person who you were talking to because they don't know what has happened to you and they just did it innocently. And if you judge them because what has happened to you is not really fair to them, and I feel like you haven't got the tools to really regulate your emotions, which is understandable if you have never learned it from your parents. But sign up for therapy to on the waiting list is good idea, but there are lots of tools you can learn it yourself too. Like there are lots of books about trauma, about nurture your inner child, about how to dealing with emotions. I highly recommend it. I'm really a big fan of audiobooks.
Mm.
I walk my dog at least 1 hour per day, so every time when I'm walking them, I'm listening to some self-help books. I think it definitely helped.
Yeah, I think this will help. Like I told you, you know, because they teach me, like, because every time when I showed emotion as a child, I was getting some negative response. Like, you're not supposed to do that, you're not supposed to cry, only weak people crying. And, you know, they, like, my parents were like robots, like, emotions, no emotions at all. And I still can deal with my emotions that good, you know. I'm like still very confused by some of my emotions. I don't like to speak about them. I don't know how to express them. I don't know what to do. And I really want to work on that.
Yeah. Um,
And this is the thing that we spoke before
yeah.
the podcast is because of that, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
holding this all this emotion for me, and at some point they're breaking out.
Do you meditate?
No, no.
I understand it. It sounds like preaching, uh, like preaching. Like before I started to meditate, like I still have lots of anger issues. Um, but before I started, lots of people recommend me when I had anger issues. Um, over time, I think I definitely can tell a little bit difference. That being able to regulate your emotions, uh, and I use this meditation app called Waking Up. It's it's developed by Sam Harris, which is a very um, impactful meditation teacher, I think from Harvard University,
Mhm.
and his message is it's really good. It's very philosophical, and I've been following it for the majority part of last year, and then now I think when situation like this happen, I can regulate myself a bit better, and um yeah, I recommend that. I think what I see you is that I understand lots of things has happened to you, and I am really also really proud of you and impressed. Like growing up in a family like that, your parents didn't teach you anything about emotional regulation, about intimacy, about healthy dynamic, but you are able to be on your own, make friends, doing things you like, and being a kind person. I think you already achieved a lot.
I'm trying to be a
Yeah.
kind person.
I know you are a kind person. You are just a bit crazy, and so I think you already achieve a lot. At least you are not a like aggressive, like a violent person like your dad. I think that's already a big achievement. But what I see you is that you are a bit like me before I found my tools, because when things happen in life, you don't have the tools to deal with, then it all accumulate in yourself, and you until you cannot hold it anymore, then it comes out in very unhealthy way.
Mm.
But this can be changed. Like first, I think I really highly recommend you start to get yourself on waiting list of a therapist. Like it doesn't need to be the best one.
Mm.
It might be a bit hurtful. I hope my therapist will never hurt this. I don't think my therapist was the best therapist ever, from what I heard from other people.
Mhm.
Um, from what I compare, like other people told me what their therapists do with them, what their therapists teach them. I feel okay. Mine wasn't the best, but even she wasn't the best. Uh, During a period of 3 years, she helped me tremendously, and um, I really appreciate it. So what I mean is that you don't need life is not perfect. You don't need everything the best in order to work.
Yeah.
As long as it works, and even it's not a therapist, even they tell you they are a therapist, they are not. They just listen to you every 1 hour, every week for 1 hour over a long period of time. It will help. Like being talk about it already helps. And I recommend you this book. Uh, Adult children of emotionally immature parents.
I think I have this
Yeah,
one.
I recommend you
Yeah.
this one. I think
Yeah.
if you like this one, I can write you a few others, and I think there's also more tons of books out there. We can help ourselves, because I realized is that in the past few years I was so reliant on my therapist. I thought, oh, every week I go, I can make breakthrough. But then I realized, oh, I can learn so much faster by listening books, because I can only talk with my therapist once per week.
Mm.
But with books, if I want, I can listen 2-3 hours per day, and that's like 20 hours of teaching per week. And I learn a lot of things. So I really recommend that as a resource also. Beyond that, I think the other tools might be a little bit too more advanced for you, like a writing journal. I think that takes lots of dedication to do it. But maybe start with download Waking Up, the
Mhm.
app. It's 99 euros per year, but if you search Waking Up scholarship, they will send you to a link, and they they ask you how much you like to pay. If you say 20, they will ask you to pay 20.
Mhm.
So it's really reasonable price. And every day wake up, do 10 minutes of meditation. He really good at teaching and also emotional control. I think I learned a lot from him. And listen some books and talk with friends. Like you told me what happened before the recording. You told me although you were very disturbed, but you actually the first time you did something different. It's the first time you talked about it, and
Yeah.
that's a progress already. So I'm proud of you here. And Chrissy, I think you need to look for help. It will. It's just like your parents. Like it will not go away if you don't work on it. Your dad is still the same way he used to be, but you can be different if you learn.
Yeah, I'm really trying to be
Mm-hmm.
different because I have this,
Yeah.
People were always very surprised that, for example, I am speaking like this and I'm looking totally innocent. And in the moment when something happened and I feel threatened or some of my friends is threatened, I'm turning into a totally different person. Like for 3 seconds, I can change from 0 to 180, I'm really loud and I'm really big. I'm like threaten, like terrifying people. I
Mm-hmm.
can be like, and they're like, "Why are you so angry?" And I'm not even angry at this moment. I'm just imitating my dad. I'm just doing what he did. Like just start screaming
Yeah.
at someone, and this is so shocking at the beginning. And I'm just, I'm trying when to hold this back and to use it only when there is an emergency, like there is a dangerous situation when this is required, and that's why I'm working what I'm working, because I mean I can work something that
What do you work?
I'm like trying to be in the social sector and help people, because when I ask for help back then, no one helps me, and I'm trying to put my skills that I have, even the bad skills that I have, I'm trying to make something good with it. And that's why I wanted to work in the social sector and make something different to
Mm.
make a good change, like
Mm-hmm.
to put this negativity to convert this
You
negative
told me
energy in a good.
actually now you work like helping supporting immigrant families,
Mhm.
and you are supporting a child right now.
Yeah. I'm like as a translator. I'm supporting these immigrants
Mm-hmm.
and all people who needs help. They're coming to us and they have different issues, and I'm translating or helping them with the papers, with the bureaucracy, and calling the German agencies and everything. And as a family assistant, I'm helping this foreign family with the children, the mom with the children, and I really like that. I always wanted to be something like this, like to help others.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's really inspiring. That to help out the situation, which you hoped you could get help. Mm. Yeah, I want to ask you like how old are you?
I'm 33.
Do you think you want children of your own?
No, because I think I need to break this circle.
Mm.
Like I don't. I mean, I will probably also mistreat my children,
Mm-hmm.
because I have this past and everything, and I don't want to do this to my children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have children, but I already love them so much that I don't want to let them go through this
Mm-hmm.
again.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a wise decision. Like I also decided I will not have children of my own. I feel like um I know I will mess up something. Like I don't have the parental instinct, and I'm a very loving and responsible person, and I feel the most responsible thing to do is to not have them.
Yeah, me too. Because as a child, I was also asking myself, why you have me, if you are treating me like this, I mean, it will be better if you give me for adoption. I mean, not having me from the first, they're like always saying, you should be thankful that you was born. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck I'm supposed to be thankful for this life? I mean, it was like suffering like the most of the time. If I wasn't born, this will never happen. And yeah.
I asked my parents the same question, and I understand like how it feels like being helpless. You know, um, like do you know this concept of learned helplessness?
No.
Um, it was it's a very famous term in psychology, and with me reading so much, I read it many times, but um in this book, Born Out by Emily Nagoski, she explained it in a way that I burst into tears. She talks about like this in these experiments, like they put I don't know the remember the details, but basically they put some frog into some water or something, and no matter how far they swim, they will not find the land,
Mm-hmm.
and then after a while they will just stop trying. You
Yeah.
and but even if then they show the land or show a solution they can actually go, the frog already learned that no matter what they do, they will
Yeah.
not be helped, so they will just not try. And that's how a child can easily develop when you know that whatever you do in life is always misery, and whatever you do is always wrong. And then after a certain period of time you will just stop trying, and you just accept whatever happened to you. And it's really heartbroken, and that's how I feel as a child, like permanently abused, like at school, being beaten at home, neglected, and I understand you how it feels like. And today, like talking with you, I'm really impressed. Also, is that growing up, sorry, the dog. Oh, okay, dog's gone. So growing up like in a poor family, I always thought money is the only thing we miss, and if we have the money, everything would be better. And every time I look at other people, like they are complaining, I was like, what do you have things to complain? You have both of your parents, you have money, you can buy nice stuff. And now looking at you, I realize, oh, actually, money cannot buy everything. Like even you have money, you still can be fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Because I mean, didn't change when the money came. When my dad moved to Germany and he started to earn so much more money, he didn't turn into a better person.
mm,
And that's why for me, money is actually not so important, because I already used to work with homeless people
mm,
and I saw what it is. I mean, and I swear if something happened, I would prefer to be homeless,
mm,
but not for ask for money
mm,
somewhere, especially at my family.
mm,
I will find a way to find it by myself.
mm,
But money is not making you happy. I mean,
mm,
emotions makes you happy,
mm,
like good positive experience, like something good, something that makes you happy, it makes me smile. And I'm not speaking about new iPhone or a
mm,
new car. I know that this is something that lasts like for 5 minutes.
mm,
I mean, like you have it, you're happy for a couple days, but after that it's just
mhm,
something. Nothing like. And money is not making. I mean, I do understand what it is to be poor and to not have money for food. This is terrible. This is totally terrible. We used to have that too also when I was small. But like I said, money is actually not the important stuff. The important stuff is to have rich emotional life and to be happy, to be happy with yourself. And
mhm,
money is just something that we created, like to rule the world or
mhm,
something like this, but it's not the most important part of it.
mhm. Cool. I think you are on the right track. I think you have good mindset, and I think you already understand you have issues you need to fix, and um, keep the work. Like just make the first steps to get a therapist, and start to read, start to meditate. I think you're on a very good track, and it's a journey. Will take many years, but um, it's all worth it. And you don't want to. We don't want to become our parents, and the difference between we and our parents is that they are not going to learn, they are not going to change anymore, but we can, by teaching ourselves, and all those things they failed to teach us, we can learn from books. And this is what I learned last year, and it's so empowering. I realized dysfunctional families can not define me if I can read, because whatever they didn't teach me, I can find the answer somewhere else. I used to thought, okay, I didn't get this from my family, I'm fucked, but actually it's not. So
But are you not sometimes scared? Like, because sometimes I'm really scared that I'm turning into them.
I think I'm different than you. My dad was totally absent from my life, but my mom is a love and hate relationship. She did a lot of things unacceptable, but deep down she's a great person. She's kind. She's generous. She's loving. It's just we were permanently poor
Mm.
and being discriminated because she's handicapped. So all the stress together, she behaved the way she behaved. But over the years, I do see her evolution. She did change. She changed a lot, and she's almost 60 now. She's still learning and she's still evolving. And uh, yeah, she's different beast than your dad. So I think it's different, and I'm not afraid of becoming my mom because she's really a great person. She's uh if I can become her, I will be really successful in life because her endurance, her ability is incredible. Given what how little she had in a discriminative society like that, so that's not my concern.
Okay.
So, like you see, like by talking like this, I feel, oh, I'm the one with privilege, that my mom actually loves me and can change. Um, but I realize lots of things is by perspective and by communication. Like I permanently envy those friends who grow up with money, because poverty is really fucks you up. And I really thought, if we have money, they have money, their life is so much easier. But by talking with you here, realize despite you had money, I didn't. I actually is the lucky one among us. So I feel it's also a perspective shifter, like the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
So I think great. So I guess that's it of tonight. And thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I hope we can catch up sometime and exchange what we have learned.
Mm.
Can we do that?
Yep.
And listeners out there, if you haven't realized that, now I have a Patreon account. So every month for as little as €3.50, you can support my work on mental health project. And I will give the mic back to Krissi. Do you want to say one or two sentences about mental health to our audience?
Uh, I just want to say that for any future parents out there, if you're not sure if if you're like eligible to be a parent, let I mean just don't do it. prepare, be ready for this, because this is a lot of responsibility. And you need to know that even if you're trying to hit someone, something from your child, the child can feel it. So please be very good prepared for this. And yeah, we don't need more damaged people in this world. I mean, it's cruel enough, and we don't need this. So this is my message.
Cool. Thank you so much. Bye bye.